Hi guys, it's Johnaget with the walk-ons again. I'm here going to do another simple maintenance video of a different marker. So here I've got a Fusion FX. It's another pretty easy marker to maintain when you're all done with it every day. So I'm just going to cover what you need to do when you're all done playing with it. You're going to need some microfiber towels, squeegee, some grease, Allen wrenches, and that should be about all you'll need. To start, all you got to do is take the bolt out by pulling up and sliding it out there, and then you take your 5/32 Allen wrench, you loosen the back cap, and then you take out the spring in the ram, and then we're going to take off the front cap. And inside of the front cap there should be a little metal plate like that, a spring, and a pin. These are all the parts that you really need to just kind of maintain when you're done playing every day. First thing you're going to do is you take a squeegee and you're going to run it through where the bolt goes, going the direction that the gun fires, just so nothing goes back down in the gun when you're squeegeeing. And then for where the ram goes, you could usually use a paper towel for this, or I don't know, I don't think you can really use a Q-tip. No, not really. So you just crumple up a paper towel and slide that in there and clean it all out. I didn't actually grab a paper towel. That's pretty clean. I don't know if you guys can see in there. And then for the front, you can just take your squeegee and you can stick this guy in there. My squeegee's kind of falling apart here. Just clean it out that way. Really easy. And the body's all set. You can move the body aside. You take your microfiber towels, clean off all your parts of any old lube or grease. The pin and the spring should be relatively clean. It's really just the bolt and the ram and the spring that tend to get dirty. I read on some of the forums that some of the guys like to use oil instead of grease on the guns that have a ram and a spring like this. I still like using the grease. It seems like it just kind of hangs around a lot longer and does a good job, and I don't have it, oil blasting down the barrel of my gun if I put too much in there or any of the excess. So so I still like to use grease. You guys could probably get away with using whatever you want in terms of what kind of grease you use, and a lot of the guys are using oil, so I'm sure you can use the oil as well. But I haven't had any problems with using the grease. So we're going to start by doing the spring and the ram. So the parts that you really need to focus on putting your grease or your lube on are the O-rings, of course. And then anywhere that the spring rides. So it's like the spring rides all along the shaft here on the inside. It doesn't do anything on the back here, but along the shaft and right there. You don't really need anything on the front. It's just going to hit the pin. And I don't know if you guys can see that in the video, how much is on there. Come on, focus. Well, anyways, you're going to get the idea. It's got just a little bit of a sheen on there. And then your spring can go on. Doesn't matter which direction you put the spring on. It doesn't have any special requirements. And then I just take what's left on my fingers and put it on the spring. So it's got plenty of grease on there. If you're using a really thick grease, like a cakey Dow grease, like a Dow 33 or something, or I don't know, just something cakey, I probably, like monkey poo and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't cake it on there too much. This slick honey stuff's really smooth and it doesn't really cake like that, but you just want to be careful because you don't want it You don't want to overdo it. And then you take and you slide the ram and the spring back in the gun, and it should kind of spring around like that, so you know it's not catching on everything, it's working good, and it gets a little bit of that lube all around. Then you can put your back cap back on. Oh, should always put a little bit of grease on the O-ring on the back cap, just a little bit. And then screw it down. I've actually stripped these out before, and they don't actually need to be that tight. I had to buy a new one, so just kind of give it a little snug up there, just like most of the other guns out there. You don't really need to crank them down. Next, we're going to do the pin and the spring. I put just a little bit of residual on all of the parts inside of the front cap. Just keep it really smooth, and then I put it on the shaft here because this is the moving part. You can see where it's got wear. I don't know if you guys can see it in the video, but there's a difference in color between here and there. It's where it wears from being shot. And then I take my spring, and it kind of snaps on. I mean, just kind of, you'll feel it. It's nice and tight in there. And then anything that's on my fingers goes on the spring. And then there's this little back piece. We're going to put that in after we install this spring and pin. So we drop it in there, and gotta move it around a little bit to get it to kind of fall into place. There you go. It's in there. It's a little, I don't know, a little more than a quarter inch past the bottom thread, so you know it's sitting in there. And then this washer, it's kind of a little bevel on there. That piece goes facing down. There we go, nice and flat. And then, just like we do with the other O-rings, just a little bit on the O-ring. Doesn't need to be a big glob or anything, just a little bit. And we screw the front cap back in, and then a little snug, just a little bit. Okay. Last part is the bolt. The bolt really doesn't need to have anything on it. I mean, if you don't want to put grease or anything on it, you don't have to. I like to put a little bit on there, just like the thinnest of thin sheens, just to give it a shine. And the reason I do that is because if anything gets in the gun, dirt kind of comes in flying from the back. I mean, we play out in the desert sometimes and things like that. I'm hoping that it's going to stick to the bolt a little bit instead of getting down into any of the mechanics of the gun. It shouldn't ever get that far, but try to put a little bit there, and then nothing on the face of the O-ring, on the face of this one. Slide it back in, and I don't even try to push it down until it's level with my finger, because I don't want to scratch up the back of the gun. I've seen a lot of guys get some scratches on the back of the gun right here from putting it in too early. And then you should be able to kind of push it like this, and if it springs back, then you're doing good. Everything's where it should be. So that's pretty much all you have to do. Every day after you're done playing, just go through it, clean it, wipe it down, put it back together. Let's see, I got an air tank right here. I always test the guns after I'm done, so I don't get out and have some surprise later on when I go to the field. So no leaks, everything's good. Turn off the eyes. Perfect. One shot. Alright. So yeah, so that's it. If you guys want to see anything special, or you're looking for a certain type of video or some kind of maintenance, you have questions, comment on the videos, subscribe to the channel, send me a message. Even if I don't know the answer, I'll do my best to find it for you, or at least get you some information that'll put you in touch with some people that can help you out. You know, maybe on PB Nation or just, you know, anywhere out there, I'll do a little work for you. I've got some time once in a while. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Have a great day, guys. Oh, before I forget, actually, I'll do another video here. Show you about this eye cover fix that I have. You notice I got a screw in there. So just kind of keep your eyes out. I'll show you what I did, how easy it is to do, and you won't have problems with these eye covers breaking anymore. You won't have to buy replacements. So yeah, thanks, guys.